Hello. Cannot see. Hello, Alex. Hoosier, what's up? No, we're dumpsters behind Wendy's. Yeah, I can actually point you to a dumpster where you might find someone might pay you in free bet promo chips. Is that good enough? Hello, hello, welcome. Hey, Ricky. Hello, Sayram. Yeah, yeah, this wasn't planned or anything. I had a pretty decent, you know, turnout last week, just randomly going live and responding to people. So figured, why not? Um, yep. Yeah, man, Hoosier. Dude, so I have flights for tomorrow. Um, by the way, how's audio? I'm using my the lavalier mic this time. Yes, my Vegas Daytripper theme songs. I have a whole library of them. I haven't made anything new lately. I devoted way too much time to making some of those because I spent a lot of time like writing lyrics, and then once I tried making the song, like the AI rapping and singing, some of the words don't work out so well. They always mispronounce certain words. So then I rewrote, those sections to make it flow better. And then I just got way too deep into it. It's like going down the rabbit hole. So, um, yeah, but hey, I still say I'm one of the very first to throw a AI theme song, at least among the craps crowd and perhaps just online gamblers in general. I know some people have had music, but none as like no like actual signature music, right? With the name where people were actually liking the song. So um, yes. Oh, Nino. Yeah, you must be on the Bluffs. That El Cortez song is actually really good. I really want to know what the prompts were to get that kind of, like cutesy female vocal. But yeah, that was a good song. How do I make money playing craps? And avoid, the seven, or if you're playing the dark side, then avoid hitting the point. Yeah, it's all about timing. Um, yeah, Lloyd. Yeah. The original, like the very first song, the one that starts off with, I'm the notorious VDT. A friend of mine actually made that for me. I had never heard of Sue. He was making just music, for fun. And I said, hey, can you make me one? And he said, sure, give me some lyrics. And I just gave him some, like skeleton, of a song. And then, it was like the first song that he made, and it stuck. So that's how it started. How do I become a millionaire? You start off with 10 million and then lose, nine. And then you become a millionaire, instant millionaire. Yes. Hello, JR from Dina. Yes, yes. So the big question is, so I have flights for tomorrow, but I'm kind of iffy about going. Part of it is because I had reached out on like Friday to a couple properties to see if I can, record. It's hard for me to plan too far in advance because, um, you know, my schedule might change. So I like to, stay flexible, and I don't want to cancel after setting up a recording session, right? Because most of these properties, I'm still very new to them. I don't want to, what's it called? I don't want them to think that, oh, I set it up, they schedule their dealers. So, because some of them, they set up a reserve table for you. That means they're scheduling people just to open the table for you. So then I can't say I'm going to be there and then last minute, cancel them because that would suck, right? What's my general setup on the come out? Uh, bu- 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 Well, on regular craps, I am rarely working my bets on the numbers. I do work the hard ways. I always have bonus bets going. Um, but yeah, I rarely work like place bets. So if I you know that's the thing. Some of these properties, that I do have more flexibility and recording permission at, they don't do things like buying the 5 and 9. Also, they pretty much all charge the vig up front if you want to lay any of the inside numbers. MGM properties, especially Bellagio, is the best when it comes to that. They don't charge the vig up front for any lay bets. And they now finally they're basically auto buying the 5 and 9. Vig paid on the win only. Um, but as you guys, most of you know, I cannot record at MGM properties, and I've been busted at Bellagio. So yeah, I actually was gonna go. I had reservations tomorrow for um, Aria Sky Suites, penthouse panoramic view, all that. And then I canceled it because, yeah, I was on the fence and I didn't want to be committed to that because I had not played at Bellagio for the past several trips. So I wanted to go there and play. So I wanted to play like the triumvirate, right? The triumvirate of Bellagio, Aria, and Cosmo. I like that little triangle right there, especially Bellagio. But when Bellagio's too full, or if things aren't going so well, then I can mix it up by just walking over short distance to Aria, or Cosmo. So I don't know. Well, Nino, thank you. Yeah, but anybody who's already in here, they're in here because they're already following me. So you're talking to the wrong crowd. You gotta tell the guys in the Discord to come and pop in if anyone's got any questions or comments. And it was kind of funny because I've been getting some comments from people. It's like, or someone commented on my recent video saying, "Hey, what happened to the chipmunks? Did you buy the channel from the previous guy?" So I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed. I mean, I've been dropping the amount of voice alteration pretty much, with every, couple of videos. And I've been messing around with, different filters. And the last maybe 2 or 3 videos, I actually just dropped the voice alteration completely. Um, yes, I have talked to a couple people who use some hidden cameras for their content, but what I want is like a really high quality camera. Um, and I don't know, I probably shouldn't put it publicly like this, but you know, if the camera portion could be like sewn into, I've seen hats, right? They have built-in cameras in hats, but you know, I want the camera as a standalone so I can put it into my own hat, right? Because if you mount it like under the bill, then you're pretty much at eye level, right? And so whatever you're looking at, it's gonna be like wearing those Meta Ray-Bans and whatever glasses. Whatever you're actually looking at is what you're gonna record. So I am still talking to some people, and I do check out what's available out there. Um, Even when I have permission at a property, having such a camera would free me up, right? Because then I can take my phone and put it, on the railing and have it pointed so that it's just capturing the dice roll, and then I can still have the first person footage. Um, and really, I think what really took off is you feel like you're there, right? Because you're getting that point of view, first person shooter. It's not a static camera. I hate static cameras. I think they're so boring, right? And there's still the complaints from people like, oh, show us the dice rolls. Like, I'm trying to do a lot while I'm recording and playing, and ultimately I need to play first. And I think if you guys look at like the Durango and the GVR live streams that I've done, I tried panning my camera with, as I throw, but it throws you off. Like you're off balance. You're not concentrating on just throwing. Say what you will about dice setting and dice influence. My only thing, the only thing I can try is to try to be consistent. And I knew that, moving my camera as I'm throwing the dice to try to capture the motion and the dice landing, that's way too much. Yeah. If I had a, camera person like Brandon or whatever, right? That would cover it. And if you see the latest Green Valley Ranch video I posted, when I was not shooting, I was getting low, on the railing and showing the dice throw. And it's like, hey, I would love to have this shot, right, available when I'm shooting too. Because then it would really show, okay, am I getting, similar outcome on the dice because I am being consistent with my throws, or is it just pure luck, right? So, yep. All right. Scrolling back up a little bit. 3v3, the flying V, hard 6 set. I mean, you got to find whatever works for you, and my thing is, I never studied it. I I never took any lessons. I never had anyone analyze my throws, but every once in a while, from my footage, people can see, how I'm throwing it. And I've gotten a little bit of feedback. So eventually I do want someone to actually analyze my throws so that I can dial it in, but it's not like super high priority right now. Yeah, Mr. High Energy video. Yes, that is the best Bellagio video. I'm actually thinking about redoing some of like the best videos. It's like the best of the best highlight videos. I'm gonna redo them without the voice alterations, and maybe clip them a little bit more, and make a like a Hall of Fame collection. Because I think some of the videos, I know I've been getting feedback, like people, some people just can't, stand like watching the videos because of the voices. I mean, enough people do watch it, right? So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, I know that there are a lot of people complain about the voices, so I might take that off and redo it. Yeah. No, but seriously, someone's saying, asking if I bought the VDT, Vegas Daytripper channel, because of the voice change. That's really funny. Nino, I mean the Insta 360 or whatever, right? That has such good quality, and that's the kind of point of view I do want. But obviously, it doesn't work if you're trying to hide the camera. Eric Ereshikaugao. By the way, I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, I've actually had some people email me and offer to be my camera person, like for free too. But I'm down because I'm not trying to do YouTube as like my actual, I don't know, job or thing, right? It's a side, fun project. It's grown way beyond what I expected it to, grow to. But I'm not quite ready to, commit any more, anything more to it, right? Pay a homeless guy $20 to film you. I'd be afraid about, the quality of the recording, plus perhaps someone taking off with the phone. The Super Mario sound effects. Yes. Yes. So, my thing is, I'm trying to work with, whatever is available for free. No loyalty or no royalty payment needed for sound effects, or getting flagged. I've actually edited some videos and then I've had to redo it because when I posted it, YouTube flagged it and it says, oh, there's a copyright claim, because some of those like really popular sound effects, yeah, people want to get paid for those, right? So a lot of those like TikTok, sound effects that, like the uh-oh, or like, certain like music, yeah, those are all copyrights. And so I'm trying my best to find sound effects that are available for free and, right, doesn't trigger anything. I wasn't sure about the Kendrick mustard, but well, nothing's been flagged yet, and I've been using that for months. So yeah, people want new action, not reruns. Of course, they're all, yeah. But I think some of these videos, have gotten overlooked, and so, I do want to make that available. I'll just handpick a few of them and re-edit them and just republish. Now, I can't even do that for all the videos because, like in the beginning, I would just like delete my footage after I posted it up, and then I realized like it's gone. So now I have an external drive, and I I move everything out and I save them just in case. All right, hello Adam. And I think someone says something about, will Adam let me record it out Cortez? I've addressed this a couple times. He's turned me down. First rejection was just a blanket, like copy paste, rejection. But this was before I really had anything, posted. But he didn't even ask for the channel info. They just said, oh, we have too many filming permits out. We're not gonna issue right now. And so that was that. And then later, once I had my channel going, I reached out to Cortez. I got the generic rejection again, but then in addition to the generic rejection, Adam actually responded saying, I reviewed your channel. You have videos taken without permission, so that's going to be a problem, and therefore, not going to give you permission. And like a month and a half or 2 months ago, I went to El Cortez with Bluff, and I was introduced to Adam because Bluff and I were talking, and and I had actually been on his live stream like the week before, and I was at the craps table with them and played on his live for a little bit, and then so the next time I was in town, I went with Bluff before his live, and then I talked to Adam, and he said, no, the decision's made. Not gonna let me record. So it's out. It's done. Yeah. I mean, most properties, they allow slot recording because slot machines are just individual machines. They don't want to deal with people filming other guests primarily at tables. That's going to be like the number one issue. And I mean, some properties, require you to have a reserved table, right? To again avoid getting other guests on video. And then there are other properties that are fine, recording at a public table, as long as you are not putting other guests and dealers and staff, their faces on video. I've gotten pretty good at that, and if I happen to catch anyone's face, I'll blur it out, I'll cover it up. So yeah. Demon Dog Dice, thank you. Thanks for the kind words. Don't even try, just do it like Bobby does. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Let me throw the dice for you. You're generous with the tips. I hear 300 to the Mexican guy was nice. I don't know if he was Mexican. He was definitely a Spanish speaker. And I was telling him, like, podemos ganar más. No va ahora. Don't leave. We got to win more. But man, he booked it out of there. And here's a little extra story to go with that. So when he left, there was a guy on Stick Left 1 who was there before I got to the table. He's Spanish speaking as well. I don't know if they knew each other or if they were just talking because, right? The guy showed up at the table. And anyway, the very last throw that the shooter to my right threw was aces, which hit the ATS. The guy at Stick Left 1 had, I think, a quarter on the all, and he was hopping the aces for 100 when it hit. So the $100 pays 3,000, plus the 25 pays what? 37.50. So yeah, he made out like a bandit. He colored up. The shooter colored up. He colored up. Stick Left 1 colored up something like 19,000 and change. I have no idea what he started with, but I know that he made good money during that roll, just as I have. But I stuck around because I inherited the dice, right? I rolled another, like 10, 12 rolls. And then after I sevened out, I looked at the time and it's like, well, I could roll again, but like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna do better than what just happened, right? Showing up with nothing and I'm coloring up, 24,000. So I colored up and I went to the cage. And when I got to the cage, I saw the guy from Stick Left One. He was standing by the cage with there were a couple of security guards. There's a guy in a suit, probably one of the floor managers or cage manager, and they're arguing over something. And I can tell, like I can just kind of pick up enough info, just from overhearing. The guy didn't have his passport with him. I don't know if he had any ID with him or if the ID wasn't good enough and the casino required his passport for tax purposes or what, because he didn't have a social security number to give him. Because when I cashed out, I had to fill out my social, right, because of the amount that I was so yeah, the guy left and whatever being held at the cage. Now that's not the shooter, that was just the guy who was already at the table. So I have no idea what was going on or if he showed up again, but I'm sure he did. I mean, no one's gonna just leave 19,000, right? If you have your passport or whatever you need to get it, you go get it. So yeah, that was a little side story. I didn't put it in the video because I didn't want to. I mean, it's not. Yeah, like the main focus will be on my story, and then I didn't need to put that out there for everyone. All right, but yeah, hey Daryl, if you're shooting and you're hitting hard way, and I'm collecting 4,500, yeah, I'm not throwing black chips left and right like Bluff does, but I will take care of you. So yes, anybody is welcome. If you are money, I'll take care of you guys. All right, thank you, Adam. Face reveal right now, you won't. Yeah, I won't, because I'm reserving that for. I mean, we were joking around, all right? Bluff, if he hits 1,000,000 subs, he just blurted out. He said, he'll do $100,000 fly a fan, and I said, all right, and you make sure you make that fly a fan me, and I will do a face reveal on your channel. So I'm gonna save it for that. All right. 72 degrees. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Nino. Yes. That is one of the. Oh, thank you, Mr. McCusick. Who got the gift membership? Oh, Daryl got the membership. All right. Yes, 72 degrees. It's 74 right now. That is one of the nice things about being in LA, right? Our weather. Yeah, it hasn't really gotten that hot yet, so yeah, thankful for that. Cheese, grits, and Nyquil. I'll be out in Vegas July 1 through 5. I will not be there, but good luck to you. It was annoying as hell whenever I used to post. I can imagine now it's even worse. Again, I don't know what you're referring to. Yes, it's a BMW. I have the same generation BMW as Bluff. I have the E90 M3, the V8. It's a gas guzzler. It hurts every time I fill up. Have Bluff drop your name, you'll get permission ASAP. Nino, I mean, I'm sure you're referring to the Cortez. Yeah, I mean, I went with Bluff, but hey, it's their business decision. They're protecting their brand. What did suck was that I was at the blackjack table. I had bought in because Bluff was going live in about like 5 minutes, so we were gonna play blackjack on the live together. And Adam pulled me off the table and said I can't even be in his live because he doesn't want bluff promoting or mentioning my channel name. So, like El Cortez found their golden child, golden goose, right, with bluff. So that's fine. If crapless offered come bets with 10x odds, would you play the come? Well, Daryl, GBR does 10x odds on crapless, but it's still not a better bet than just buying the bets. So no. Yeah, if you like do the math, no come bet with 10x or 20x or even 50x odds, it doesn't overcome the buy bets on the extremes for sure. And just for fun, I remember running the numbers on 100 times odds, and it barely beat out the 6 times, buy bet on the 2 and the 12. Yeah, it was still close. So yeah, no use in playing the come bet on a crapless table. Pronounce my name. Okay. Ever consider starting from scratch, meaning ditch the VDT name, starting over? Okay, so I've been reaching out to various properties for past several months, and I thought, okay, well, if no one gives me permission, then do I just start from scratch, start over, right? And start with permission so that it's a fresh start. But it was right at that point when I did get permission from GVR. I got permission from Aliante, and so I just decided, screw it, whatever. I'm not gonna get permission at some places, but again, I'm not trying to make YouTube my actual job, right? It's not my main thing. So having a couple properties where I can record with permission, it's good enough for me. So I left it at that. Yeah. And it's just, for me, it's too much effort. I'm not gonna start over. Now, if nobody gave me permission because I had already posted videos with that were taken with that permission from different casinos, then I would have had to really think about it. But I probably would have just scrapped the whole thing instead of starting over. All right. Am I driving to Vegas? No, I'm driving home. You grew up in San Pedro? Okay, yeah. I mean, South Bay is nice and cool. I am in the South Bay area. That's why I live close to LAX, and so I had it down to a science. I booked my flight so that I can just park, walk right in, and basically walk on the plane as they're boarding or boarding has already ended. So I have this thing, so Vegas message board, it's a forum, I've been on there for several years, and way before I ever posted anything on YouTube, that's where I was posting my trip reports, photos, video clips, and my thing is, I'm known for my airport running, right? People have seen me running through the airport and then posted afterwards saying, hey, I saw you running through the airport, because I've been cutting it so close with all my flights. So I jokingly say that's how I stay in shape. You don't need anything else. You just get your cardio while you're running through the airport trying to make the flight. Do you still want to gamble? So I don't like the. This is a pretty old question probably because I've been blabbing on by myself. But El Cortez, I don't like their tables. I don't like the. I don't like their table because it's longer. I don't like the different like their payouts, whatever. Although I would throw my money on the all-day hard way bonus bet. By the way, there's a whole bunch of drama regarding that too, because the guy who actually marketed and licensed that bonus bet. By the way, did you guys know? There's a reason why some places call it all tall small, boomer bust, you know, like whatever. It's called lucky shooter on bubble crafts machines. People actually make money coming up with these bonus bets. So all those side bets, right, on like blackjack and baccarat, someone came up with it. They came up with the name. They came up with the mathematical breakdown. They actually have it like certified, right? They have people who run all the numbers, right? Because the casino is not going to want to offer something if they're going to lose money on it. So there's a whole business behind selling like these side bets. So yeah, I don't know how much money's there, but somebody marketed that all-day hard way side bet, and that's how it got put on the table. And same thing with those, dividing up the field bets. So it's like the higher end of the field bet, middle of the field bet, all of that, right? But somebody allegedly stole the idea, right? These side bets. So the guy who saw somebody else's work and heard about it took that idea and in a matter of a couple months, turned it into an actual bet and put it on the table. So yeah, there's drama. There's drama in the craps world over that. I recognize the info systems. Yep, it's the older BMW. Yeah. Recent subscriber, thank you. Enjoying your videos. Thank you. All right. Well, don't not go to El Cortez on my, for my sake. Go there if you want to go there. Go there if you want to play, with Bluff or Vegas Matt or whoever. But again, like the only reason why I was even there was because of Bluff, right? I've set foot in El Cortez one time before going there with Bluff in the 25 years that I've been going to Vegas. So smash the like button, thank you. All right, thanks for the answer. No, I cannot be the next Bluff. Bluff is Bluff, right? His channel is personality driven. He's willing to do a lot because he's made it his actual livelihood. He decided to go all in, and he is Bluff. And what's going on? What are all these messages retracted? I don't know what's going on. Was there something I missed? Anyway, yeah, I'm just happy, just getting good, fun sessions on video and sharing it. Yeah, hey, Bobby, he's got some great ideas and some not so great ideas. I talk to him a lot, and I've given him feedback on certain things, and I tell him when I see something on his video that could potentially become a problem. I've even talked to him about his, fly a fan giveaway. So, he's looking into like fixing his, promo like setup, right? I mean, I never asked him to promote my channel, but he's always given me shout outs when he's playing and recording, together, like on his videos, he'll mention me and whatnot. So, appreciate it. Yeah, Bobby's a good guy, and that's why people like it, right? People enjoy watching him because his personality is what's driving the channel. And on top of it, he's right, well, like right now, he's on an amazing win streak, right? Like a whole month long win streak. Like it's crazy. And it makes for good content, when you can win, when you can lock up 2 slot machines within the first handful of spins, right? Side by side, that pinball and top dollar machines locking up for hand pays. How the hell does that even happen, right? I've never had, I can count how many times I've played slot machines. So, the chances are low, but still, he just fed the machine, bam, 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 hand pay. Next machine, bam, 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 hand pay. Like you can't script it. So, puck off, great content, thank you. Yeah, and I'm adjusting I'm changing up a lot of the sound effects. So the newer videos have different set of sounds. I'm gonna keep the mustard. I'm gonna keep like the Super Mario, sound effect. But some of the like the ding and the sound effect that I was using for when a number rolled, it was actually like a Super Mario coin. When you like hit one of those bricks and the coin pops, but it was I don't know what it was, but it was a little too grating. Like the sound was a little too high, so I didn't want to hurt people's ears like listening to that. So I found a different sound effect that I like. That's a lot more gentler. So yeah. But okay, wow. All right, if it looks like, by the way, what the heck did I miss? Why is there a bunch of messages retracted? But yeah, it looks like we've pretty much run the course on this live. Unless if anyone's got like a burning, whose channel do you watch? I watch Bluff, right? I watch most of I don't watch it all the time, but I do watch like Dragon Bubblecraft. I've met him in person. We haven't had an opportunity to play together, but I did meet him at Durango. So I support his channel. I watch it. I watch like Casino Quest guys, right? But in terms of like actual gaming content, I'll watch a lot of it, right? Because just to see what's going on. But how many people are actually playing table games? Like, yep. Do you see any reflection? Not there. I've had to edit some videos because my face was showing in like the slot machine or on my computer monitor when the light flashed. So yeah, it could happen. And who knows? Maybe I've been, in the background of someone's video, and no one, connected the dots. Ribeye or prime rib? Ribeye. Although lately I've had some great prime rib, I've had a lot better ribeye. My thing. Okay, so this is. I'll probably. This will probably be like the last story for today. So I used to be a total noob when it comes to like food. I used to eat to live, not live to eat. And so, for me, steak was a steak because I never really knew how to eat a proper steak. And, I thought a steak is good, but, this is it. Like, a steak is a steak. Uh, Carnevino. So, there was a celebrity chef named Mario Batali. He had a bunch of restaurants in Vegas, most of them at Venetian. His steakhouse was called Carnevino, and their main thing that they were known for was dry aged steaks. And so they had this dry aged ribeye, um, and it was amazing. So I had the dry aged ribeye, and it was paired with this Italian wine, and it just opened my eyes. I'd never realized how good a steak could be until I had that. And from that point on, also I was basically eating steaks well done. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I just didn't know. Um, but the moment I had that dry aged ribeye, medium rare plus, paired with a beautiful red wine, um, that's when my eyes were open. I realized, wow, a steak could have so much flavor, right? So then I went on this whole journey of trying different steakhouses, trying to find, different places that will offer dry aged steaks. And unfortunately, Carnevino shut down because stupid Mario Batali was, accused of sexual harassment, and Venetian actually kicked out all of his restaurants. I think he had like four restaurants, and they closed every single one of them. And I was so sad when that happened because I went, to almost every single steakhouse in and around Vegas and LA and other places, trying to find the substitute, and I still haven't found it. Um, oh, really? Peter Luger. I've been to Peter Luger recently, and I just had the lunch special. I really liked it. So they do dry aged. Okay, I will definitely check it out. Also, someone messaged me a while back saying that the person who was in charge of the dry aged program at Carnevino was at Brezza. I think it's a restaurant at Resorts World. Um, it's an Italian restaurant, and so I do want to go there and try their uh, steak offering, but I haven't had the opportunity yet. Also, Resorts World is like, I've been there once. Their craps table is like an aircraft carrier sized. Um, there was nothing about that place that made me want to return there, but I will go there one day. By the way, I reached out to them and they said something silly like, I reached out for filming permission, and they said something like, "Oh, you need to have 100,000 following on your social media." So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not quite there yet, so I guess I won't be going there. But maybe I'll reach out to them again. I'll link my channel and say, you know. And these days, what I do is I lead with, I show them the channel, and I lead with the fact that, like, hey, I do bring significant like gambling action. I've been platinum at MGM organically. I've been diamond at Venetian organically, right? And I didn't get that from playing like $5 pass line bets. So you know I lead with that. So if you want action, like let me come and try. So, well, hey Ricky, 2025 is not over yet, so hopefully I can mount a comeback, get back into the positive, and maybe book a win for the first time in a few years. Yes, I know eating steak well done is a sin. I did not know better. I grew up poor, okay? I didn't know. Scottsdale, Arizona used to have a great steakhouse. Yeah. Drinking while playing? So, Puck, I used to drink, right? And I have to say, like 2022 and 2023, I was having like some amazing sessions. I just shared about my like 20,000 being down earlier half of the day and then coming back, to be, back into the positive in 1 hour. But that was not my rule, right? But 2022 and 2023, I had so many sessions where I was throwing and I was able to come back from 10,000 down, 15,000 down, 20,000 down, and, end up positive. And then I stopped drinking um, end of 2023, December 2023, I stopped drinking. Not that I was a raging alcoholic, but I just stopped drinking. And 2024, oh my goodness, I had some of the worst sessions ever. I just could not string together, any of these like amazing like rolls. And so I've been jokingly saying like, wait, the only thing that changed is I stopped drinking. Like, what's going on? Is it because drinking makes you more relaxed? So then you're able to, be looser when you throw, and then you end up having a better roll, right? Because unfortunately, yeah, 2024 was brutal for me. And so, I've been jokingly saying, like, maybe I need to take up drinking again. Um, yep. Oh, Ricky, were you talking about 100K subs? Oh, I thought you were talking about the 100K because I mentioned that my like the goal that I originally set was like I wanted to book, a six-figure win for the year. So I've been doing six figures, but it unfortunately has a negative in front of it. So yeah, that's not good. Do I use points to book my flights? When I do have points, I do. Um, I fly Southwest the most, but with the recent changes, I'm flying other airlines more. I'm flying like Alaska and American more often, and I fly Delta. So first of all, it has to be the schedule has to fit, like the timing, and then cost is a factor. But let's say there's only one flight, that leaves, in the 9 a.m. range in the morning, and it costs like 200, and then I can either fly at like 7:30 for $100 or at 10:30 for $100. I'm gonna pay that 200 because the timing matters more to me. I can't fly the 7:30, and I don't want to wait for the 10:30 because then my available time on the ground is shortened. So I have never been to Red Rocks. It seems to be pretty far, so I have not gone there yet. And like I feel like I've heard something about they don't always have um, tables open. So I don't wanna get out there and then, have to wait for the table to open, right? This is a older BMW. Um, so I showed this last time. So it's the millennial Gen Z anti-theft device. Um, Change my name. Yeah. No, I'll still do. I'll stick to being a day tripper. Although I'm working on maybe doing my first over trip in a year and a half. If I can do it, it's gonna be end of August. I might do one night stay. But the problem is like the last 2 or 3 times when I stayed overnight, basically each night cost me $20,000. So yeah, I think day tripping is actually cheaper and safer for me. So all right, guys, thanks for hanging out, listening to me babble on about this and that, but I had fun. So thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I'm sitting on like 4+ hours of footage now, so I will get through them. I will get them edited and post them up. So all right, cool. Have a good one. Take care, everyone.